The UK Expansion Worker Route is a new sponsored route for overseas businesses who want to set up a branch or subsidiary in the UK. It allows businesses to sponsor senior managers or specialist workers to come to the UK to grow the business. In order for a business to be able to sponsor workers under this route, the organisation has to be a branch or wholly owned subsidiary of an established overseas business. It's important to note that it can't already be trading in the UK. As part of the application, it has to demonstrate that it has a UK footprint, and this can be shown through evidence of UK business premises or registration with Companies House. The business must also prove that it has an overseas trading presence and plans to expand to the UK. So it must be active in trading for at least 3 years and capable of establishing a UK branch or subsidiary within 2 years of the licence being granted. In order for an individual to qualify for a UK Expansion Worker Visa, they must have the following. They must have a passport or document showing their identity and nationality. They must also have a valid certificate of sponsorship assigned by a UK licensed sponsor to be sponsored for a role that the government deems is eligible for sponsorship. The job must be an appropriate skill level, and the individual must either receive an annual salary of at least £42,400 or what is known as the going rate of the job. Whichever of these values is higher is what the worker must be paid. The worker also must have evidence that they have worked for an employer outside of the UK for at least 12 months. That is unless they are earning over £73,900 per year, or if they are a Japanese national doing work for a Japanese company. If either of these conditions apply, the individual only needs to prove that they have been working for an overseas employer. The individual must also be able to prove that they have funds of at least £1,270. They must also have a valid TB test certificate if they are from a listed country. It is important to consider the timescales involved in applying for a UK Expansion Worker Visa before making an application. If the company does not already have a sponsor licence, additional time will need to be set aside to go through the process of obtaining one. An application for a UK Expansion Worker Visa can be made up to 3 months in advance of the date the employee is due to start working in the UK. Also, once an application has been submitted, a decision will usually be made within 3 weeks if the worker is outside of the UK when applying, or within 8 weeks if the worker is inside of the UK at the point of application. If successful, a worker will be permitted to stay in the UK for whichever is shorter of 12 months after the start date of the job listed on the certificate of sponsorship, or 14 days after the end date displayed on the certificate of sponsorship. A UK Expansion Worker Visa can be extended by 12 months. However, the maximum length of time a sponsored worker can stay in the UK for is 2 years. In addition, if a worker has spent time in the UK on another visa, they may have to leave the UK sooner than this. Now you know the basics of the UK Expansion Worker Route, we will go through some of the benefits and drawbacks of the route. Firstly, a benefit of the route is that up to 5 workers can be sponsored. This means that a team can come to the UK together to establish the business. This demonstrates an improvement on the previous option of applying for a representative of the overseas business visa, known as a sole rep visa, which only permitted 1 worker to be sponsored. Another benefit of this new route is that workers that are majority shareholders of the business can be sponsored. This was not the case when applying for a sole rep visa. One of the potential drawbacks of this new route is that there is no path to settlement, which could make it more difficult for businesses to persuade workers to move their lives to the UK. In addition, the business has to obtain a sponsor licence before being able to sponsor workers as UK Expansion workers. This process is often costly and time-consuming, and presents an additional challenge for overseas businesses who want to establish a UK presence. Thank you for watching this video by Truth Legal. We hope it has helped you to grasp the basics of the UK Expansion Worker Visa. Please be sure to check out our website for more information, as we regularly post blogs about changes to immigration laws, including this one. You can also follow Truth Legal on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and YouTube.